So hey guys, what's up? This is Ezekiel, and welcome back to the next episode of the Battle Cats Evolution series. Yeah, so in the last video, we talked about the evil cat, and so today, we're going to be moving on to a super rare cat, which is pretty good against flying enemies, such as the Bun Buns, the floating heads, the really annoying butterflies, depending on the stage they're playing, of course, and that cat is none other than the Bodhisattva Cat. I think that's how you pronounce it anyways. Like, it's one of those cats where it has like a really super long name that might be difficult to pronounce and might vary from person to person, so I do apologize if I'm not actually pronouncing it right, but we're just gonna get right into the video right here. So let's begin. A cat that has reached a state of peace and pushed its body beyond physical limits might slow floating enemies' area attacks. So I believe this is related to, or this cat and the, evolution forms, evolved forms after this, prior, I was about to say prior, but that's for before, prior is for later, I assume. Anyways, basically this cat's all about that Buddhism stuff, so for those of you who have studied this, or maybe even practiced it or whatever, it's probably like just one of those cool little things, just like, oh, it's like a neat little mini reference right there. But yes, this cat is pretty good against floating enemies, has that area attack damage, so it's actually really good against groups of enemies, and has the chance to slow them down, which again, as I've said in previous videos, the slow effect, as some people might think that's kind of useless, is actually really, really good if you're trying to stop a massive horde of enemies from getting to your base too quickly. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the Bodhisattva Cat. So the next evolution right here after the first form is the Avalokitesvara Cat, which is that's another mouthful of a word right there. The only reason I know how to say it is because I've seen a similar word when I studied it, I think last year in grade 12 world religions, all that fun stuff. Anyways, this cat, a Bodhisattva cat who has shown compassion to many and all battle cats, might slow floating enemies' area attack damage. It's kind of interesting here because it's just like it has shown compassion to many and all. Why can't it just say to all battle cats? Not really sure why it says to many, but I guess that's just sort of either to increase the text in the little box right there to make it look cooler, or it's probably more of a metaphorical sense. Not too sure. Probably looking way into a lot too deep into this than I should be, but still has the same basic stats: floating enemies, slow damage, and area attack damage. So nothing too fancy there. The only real differences here is that in the first form, this guy has like a bunch more arms, so that's it's pretty fancy, but I'll get into that later when we're talking about the description. But the final and true form of the Bodhisattva Cat is the Tathagata Cat, which is it's neat. It has like hair on its head, which is always a good thing. You always want to have some hair, and it actually ends up holding some things in each of its arms, but get into that later. Enlightened compassion flows from this cat, but they even say the Buddha has a breaking point. Air attacks might weaken and slow floating. So it gets the added bonus, which is able to weaken its enemies, and compared to its first two forms, its attack range does increase just a little bit, so it's able to deal with it's able to survive a little bit longer versus particular floating enemies that have a little bit extra range than it would otherwise. So that's pretty much all I got for that. So now we're going to go straight to the dojo, and I'll show you guys each of these separate forms right here. Oops, made this simple mistake. Forgot to go switch this back up to the first two, because like I feel like it's a crazy build-up really when you go from one form to the next form with this guy in particular right here. So let's put that speed up just to sort of, speed things up, because he is a little bit expensive to summon into the battle, but then again, he does have a lot of good, interesting benefits for particular enemies anyways, which makes it pretty good. So this is what the Bodhisattva Cat looks like. Basically, it has like that sort of, I'm not really sure how I would describe it, but it has like a leaf-like shape behind it that's supposed to be like, you know, some sort of artsy religious sort of thing like that. And its main attack is a giant hand that it literally just summons and sort of just chops the enemy, which is pretty cool actually. I mean, you know, if I was the squirrel and I was just like, time to bite this dude to death, and then suddenly like a massive hand just appears literally from nothing and smacks you down, it's like, it's quite a deadly thing right there. But other than that, nothing too crazy about this cat. It can levitate, which is pretty neat. Levitation is a very great thing to have, especially in real life if you're very lazy and stuff, but sadly that is not a thing that exists. But that's pretty much all I can say for the Bodhisattva Cat. So for the Avalokitesvara Cat, things get a little bit more interesting, you know. By more, I mean it just has more arms, so you can imagine this guy's pretty good when it comes to like multitasking or writing exams, essays, stuff like that. Like, he has multiple arms, so it's a lot easier for this dude to do such tasks. But for the sake of this game, he just kind of sticks to just kind of fighting. So you can see it's definitely a transformation compared to the first form. So it has the giant circly, circle with the lines and inside of it that's going towards the previous sleeve shape, which has a little more detail, I believe, and then has the extra arms on the side right there, which kind of, you know, some people might think it looks kind of odd, but it's part of the, you know, religion and stuff for multiple arms and stuff. I forget the reason why, but it's just, I don't know, I always just found it to be super interesting. But instead of a single chop, it actually summons multiple hands, so 4 in total, to sort of quadruple the damage, which it actually doesn't quadruple the damage, like, statistical wise, you know, in the game, but it's theoretically would seem a lot more painful. You know, if you thought one chop was bad from an arm that or from a hand that appeared on nothing, try taking 4 hands to the face. It's just like, ouch, really, really hurts. But yeah, that's pretty much all I can say for the Avalokitesvara Cat. And now we're going to move on to its final form, which is the Tathagata Cat. So this cat right here, it gets even more complicated than the first form. Like, it doesn't gain any extra arms or anything like that, but it does gain more details to what it currently has, and its attack also changes as well. So going to wait for the squirrel to appear right here and then summon this dude. So you can see that this guy looks like really decked out compared to the first form. So the circle that once had like the little lines in between and stuff has now become like a literal sun behind it. He seems a lot taller. The thing that he was sitting on has grown to be like a full flower. He's wearing some sort of like a robe, sort of cloak sort of thing around him, and each of his hands is holding something now, which it's kind of hard to see here, but I believe those are all supposed to be like particular items and stuff that are that have a lot of meaning, at least for like the Buddhism sort of religion, I would imagine, because I do see it's the second arm on the right side to the top. It has like this little structure thingy, and I believe, like, I have seen that for the religious stuff, like for the religion when I studied it back in high school. But anyways, its attack changes from the multiple hands to a giant foot in the sky, which, you know, I guess in a technical sense, stomping would maybe hurt more than chopping. Then again, you know, if you watch anime and all that fun stuff, it can vary for sure from the different types of attacks that you do. But anyways, that's pretty much all I can say for this guy. He definitely looks really intimidating, and his hair locks are pretty impressive too. I'm not actually sure if that's hair. I think it's hair, but if it's not, then oh well. But now let's get into the actual battle composition right here. So for this example, we're going to be going for a mix of abilities right here, cat combos I should say. We're going to be going for a slow and weaken combo, hence the fact that the true form has both the weaken and slow effect for floating enemies. And then we're just going to back it up with a bunch of spam cats, and just for funsies, we're going to add the Tathagata Cat because it's pretty resistant to flying enemies, so it should sort of act as a, you know, kind of solidify that wall just so that things don't get too messy right here. Obviously, the Tathagata Cat is not meant to be like a super crazy, like, murder the floating enemy sort of unit. It's more like a utility support unit. So I'm going to show this using the stage of No More Bad Dreams, which I believe, I don't know if I've used this stage a few times already for previous videos, like maybe for the Sanzo Cat or something like that, but I don't know, it just seems like this is just always a good stage for you know, floating enemies if you're trying to show off a cat, such as this guy who specializes in such things, has like the abilities to sort of back it up as well. So things are going to be a little bit slow right here. I'm probably just going to max out the worker cat first. It's not necessary for this cat really, but you know, we can try to hold off as long as we can for this particular fight right here. So may as well max it out, right, just to make our lives a little bit easier. But once we do that, then we'll start the entire process of you know, showing off that this cat can actually hold off, if you spam it correctly, it can hold off a line of Bun Buns, which is what's gonna come out from this base right here. But yeah, I guess as this is going on, I can sort of talk about a couple of other things. So for those of you guys who don't know, there is a particular campaign going on that I saw from multiple sources, like Rare Cat's videos, also in-game. But basically, there's the other YouTuber, his name's Machia. There's an event going on where basically if this particular video of his reaches 400,000 views, then a new mysterious cat will be released into the game, which is either going to be really, really good or really, really bad. All I know is that this cat is apparently only exclusive to like the, you know, North American side of the world, so it's not actually in the Japan game at all, or the Japan version. Sort of like the burger cat, but I don't know, so it seems like a cool thing. I did see the video just to sort of, you know, give that extra view for the overall 400,000 views, but I'd recommend just checking out his video, just, you know, either if you like the guy or if you just want to get that new cat in the game. I know I do, so, you know, do what you will. But aside from that, I guess, you know, for me, life's pretty good. Exams are coming up, essays and whatnot, so it is a little bit lame to do all that fun stuff. But on the side, you know, other things like, you know, going out to hangouts, girlfriend, you know, Lux, all that fun stuff, it's very good. It's very good stuff. So, you know, I would say I'm enjoying life as it is right now. I just really wish that exams and essays didn't have to be a thing, unfortunately. But anyways, aside from that, it looks like we're about good to go right here. So I'm going to start things off by spamming these guys, and we're going to pretty much start spamming the wall of cats right here. I think I'm gonna wait just a second. So typically it's not the greatest idea just to spam like the mania cats anyways, because they like run really fast to the base anyways. So usually I'll wait just a little bit for the other cats to sort of catch up, and then I'll start spamming these guys in correlation as well. But you can see the Tathagata Cat, or we'll just call him the T Cat for now, just to you know, make things a little bit easier. But we're gonna try to spam these guys in a row. It's not really necessary because these guys should be good on their own, and with the help of the Tathagata Cat, it should you know, make the weakening effect pretty prominent. But you can see right here, we're currently able to hold these guys off, and I'm not too sure how like, honestly, like, I sort of have my doubts for this cat. I don't actually use it too much because I prefer using the stanza cat because it's a little bit faster to spam them. But the fact that this cat has two abilities makes it pretty nice. You can see it took a hit right there, which is not the greatest thing. But the Bun Buns, all three of them, the black, red, and white one, they're all still sort of just chilling there. So even though one of our Bodhisattva Cats took a bit of a hit right there, or T-Cats, I literally just said we're gonna call these guys the T-Cats, but then I just called them the Bodhisattva Cats anyway, so whatever. But you can see all these guys now have that weakening effect and or the slow effect, so it's kind of neat to see that take place. I think, did the red Bun Bun die? Oh no, it's still there. Okay, well, we have all four Bun Buns here. We're only really using these two cats, so I'm pretty confident to say that even without the Tathagata Cat, we'd be still able to like hold this line pretty well. In fact, I don't even see the Tathagata Cat in the front lines anymore just because it probably died, and that's gonna suck, right? I don't like that small chance of the wave attack right there. Right, well, it was able to hold it off pretty well for a while, but obviously since there's four Bun Buns, even with like four spam cats and the Tathagata Cats in correlation, it's still really difficult to hold them off. But the point is to show, wow, great English, but basically the T-Cat in its full glory and stuff is able to pretty much handle, you know, relatively handle like a wave of Bun Buns. And if you top this off with like other, you know, anti-floating cats to, you know, actually do some damage and stuff, and to also add some extra support and whatnot, then it can be very deadly, like having these guys. So overall, it's a pretty neato cat. So we're just gonna sort of hold these guys off just a little bit longer right here. Like, I could end things off, but I feel like, you know, it sort of undermines the actual epicness and the power that these guys have right here. Look at it. It's even able to take a single hit from one of the Bun Buns right there, which is kind of impressive because these guys do a fair amount of damage, which is a little bit scary, but look at that. Holding these guys off like a champ. I'm not even sending these Tathagata Cats anymore, and we are still holding them off relatively well. But yeah, I think that's you guys pretty much get the point. So it's able to hold off floating enemies relatively well. So it's definitely a big thumbs up there. So, do I recommend this cat for your team composition and all that fun stuff? I would say yes, but depending on, you know, if you want to be efficient and stuff, I would actually preferably go for just the Sanzo Cat, because even though the Sanzo Cat doesn't have that extra weakening effect, I feel like the slow is still, it takes a lot more priority, so, and you can stack these guys a lot more easily, because the recharge time is it takes a lot less time, they're cheaper, so it's just, I feel like the Sanzo Cat's a little bit more reliable. But if you want to save cat space, or just, you know, be kind of cool like that, then sure, you can use the Bodhisattva Cat to your liking. But I still recommend it. It's a pretty good cat. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I wanted to say for this video. If you enjoyed it, then hit that like button, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more Battle Cats videos in the future. If you have any more cats that you would like to see and or suggest for future videos, then just let me know in the comment section below, and I'll probably make the cats sometime in a future upload. Just have to stay around to see that. But anyways, guys, that's gonna be it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Woo!